What's up, everybody? 808's Why You Wait. Town Hall Meeting with the Mayor. I am your host, Eugene Man Roberts, and today we have a very, very special episode. Today we're gonna actually talk some gear. I know. You know, there's a lot of cool conversations and you learn about some people, but today we're gonna learn about some gear, specifically the new Phantom and the 2.0 update. With none other than my guru, my sensei, the guy that gets me out of all the bonds when I'm having a technical difficulty. We're trying to figure out something cool to do. But give it up for my homeboy, Mr. Ed Diaz. Yes!
All right, let's do it.
My brother, Mr. Ed Diaz. How are you, sir?
What's up, man? It's so awesome to see you, dude.
I know. I'm so used to being able to us catch up and get tacos, and Suzanne see me act crazy, and the cats, and
Absolutely.
But soon come.
Soon comes, absolutely.
So what have you been up to outside of cooking? Because I've been seeing you post some amazing eats online.
Yeah, I just got a pellet smoker this weekend. Instead of going on vacation, I used some of that money to get a pellet smoker just so I can be in the studio and be smoking some meat outside, and then I can watch it from the app on the phone so I could be up here working. So, because that being said, as far as on the work side, there's a lot working on the Phantoms. We just came out with the 2.0 OS update that had multi-sampling and sampling.
You know what's crazy, Ed?
Huh?
First of all, people, let me say this. Ed's been my keyboard guru and for years. And a lot of people don't know it, but a lot of people do. Because if anybody asks me, how do you do this? Ed, how many times I'm like, hey, yo, listen, my homeboy needs your help. So that's first things first.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Second thing is, you're one of the very few people that knew or knows that the G8 and the Integra has been like my thing. And now the new Phantoms kind of took its place in a good way because it has all of the JV sounds and all of the things that I used to love to have to use the Integra and all of that. And guys, Ed used to hit me and help me out with all of the routing and the MIDI mapping and how to get my G8 to control my 3080 and then the Integra and all of that. But yeah, that Phantom, listen, that has literally been the central piece to everything I've been doing lately. So I think it's a dream come true with a lot of things that have happened with it. But I'm gonna let you continue though, because
you're absolutely right. Because before we had the G, and I love external MIDI control as you do, so you can control other things. But now with this one, you can control. Well, shoot, a lot of those older sounds are in the Zen core thing and the Zenology on the computer. So it's like having an X and a G and a JV 1080 as well as all the new stuff all in one keyboard. But then if you want to run some external gear like an Integra or something else, you can run multiples plus a computer. If you have some sounds that you've sampled in main stage or you have some Spectrasonics or whatever, you can have that in combination with the over 8,000 sounds that you have in the Phantom. And Man, I don't even know how many sounds are in here totally, because I know my Phantom has over 9,000 sounds because if you got all the packs from Rolling Cloud, it's just crazy. So we've been really busy working on Phantom stuff. And, of course, I do a lot of tutorials, and I'm back at doing the tutorials. And then we just came out with an update on the Jupiter X and XM, the MC707, the MC101. We just came out – where'd they go? We just came out with some new wireless MIDI. So that just came out. So
I ain't get mine yet. I need mine so I can use my keytar with some other cool stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Y'all hear me? You hit it? Kristen, Brian,
Call them out.
Igor. No, I'm just playing. I'm sure I'll get one of those.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I mean, it's come a long way. I'm glad they actually even did the wireless MIDI, because we used to have to just get third-party companies to get those things, especially when the AX7 came out and it was all MIDI. What's your favorite thing about the new Phantom?
Oh, I think it's just the amount of sounds that I can have, because you remember back in the day where you had keyboards that had 16 sounds, 32 sounds,
Yep.
128. And
That's the first mistake I made when I got a Juno 106. I was so excited. I got a 106. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make all my own sounds. I wrote over the whole first bank and didn't know that I could not just like factory reset the keyboard without doing the whole tape thing and all of that. So shout out to the cloud, because that allows you to have as many versions of a 106 as you want. And I got my 106 reloaded, and I got all the voice cards replaced, and like I got it like redone. But it kind of threw me off because I didn't know about that. Oh, why you tell me that?
No, none of us did back in, I was a kid too back in those days, and I did my share of messing up keyboards because there was no factory reset, and I had no access to tapes and all this other kind of stuff, and I was like, oops, so you just you just live and learn. And so that's something I really try and tell the young bloods. I'm like, you guys are really spoiled because you can just back up everything.
Yeah, USB.
Yeah, and then if you really mess up, you can factory reset. And I know with you and your tech and other artists is like, what's I love, and like I just remind all the young guys is like, you can make all your custom patches. You got a copy, you send them to your tech. Sometimes artists send them to me as the angel in the outfield, just in case something really goes wrong. It's like, here's your patches. So back in the day, that just wasn't the case. So for me, it's the amount of sounds and the ability to back up everything. And as you know, you could put a Phantom on a rider and then just take your thumb drive and zap it, and it's yours.
The craziest thing to me is I like all the sounds. I love the way it feels.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away by the 2 MIDI out thing.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
I was. I know that's like random. I know that's like come on, I have everything on this keyboard. Like, 2 MIDI outs is kind of crazy.
No, that's something that I don't think a lot of cats will just blow past that. That's a big dog. That's a big dog feature. That's for an MD. That's for someone that's controlling a lot of things going on. And so, I normally don't talk about the 2 MIDI out things because most people are like, whatever. But for my big dogs out there, as soon as they see that, they're like, oh, there's some A90 heritage in this. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's some master controller in this. And I'm like, yeah. And so you use those 2 MIDI outs plus the USB to control MIDI through the computer. And then you start thinking like, oh.
And then that whole like, I'm not trying to take the crown, but I want to say I might have been one of the first people using Mainstage on like certain stages.
You probably were. You probably were.
And to know that it's integrated with Apple really blew me away. Just the way it controls Logic and the way the Mainstage layouts are already there. It kind of, like I said, it was really like carefully done, and I really like that. What's something that you think that we need to do? Like, I already know my thing. I'm gonna tell you my thing.
Okay.
I'm ready for the virtual V-Synth. Or I just really want the physical bass. That's all I really want.
Oh yeah, no, I know the bass that you're talking about.
Yeah, I just want that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I still have my V-Synth GT, and so whenever I feel like going to play out, I'll just call somebody up and say, let me just sit in, and I always take a V-Synth with me. That's my race car. That's my race car right there. That is for when I play it, that's what the hell was that synth? Because they hadn't heard anything sound like that. They're like, what the hell was that? And so like, that's a V-Synth GT. So, I think with the Zen combination of the Zen Core and the Supernatural, you're going to get pretty close to that stuff. And then now we're having more people ask for V-Synth. So we'll see what happens in the future. But with all this flexibility of being layering and splitting, and I know how you do your filtering and your detuning of things and stuff, you're going to be able to build a lot of stuff really close to the GT. If we'll see what happens in the future if we put a GT in there. But there's some killer sounds. Like before we came on this call, I was just messing with sounds, and I was like, "Oops, there's another sound that I just love."
No, and I haven't had the time to do that in a long time. Like really just sit and go through sounds. Like before, it was just like, all right, we got to play this song. I need a sound that's sounds like this for this song, and I gotta tweak it and make what I gotta do in the keyboard. But like in the more recent, I've been like getting really like into like creating samples and doing a lot of like programming, and I've just been finding so many sounds that are like 4 keyboards ago I would have had to make this sound.
Yeah.
Like some of the like these stock sounds are really good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're probably finding out for all of you, that for the non-touring cat out there, I think like with Man and a lot of the touring cats out there, like he's saying, they're busy trying to work and trying to get this song set for their artist and get it going, so they don't have time to sit and explore. And so that's kind of a positive thing. So it's like now you can use this time to really kind of spread your musical wings a little bit and kind of figure out some more things going on, because I know you're always on a time crunch. So that's what I really try and focus right now with everybody. I know in my part in our synth community, I just try and spread the word of like, look, while we're having this downtime or this awkward time, let's go ahead and dig into our synths and really learn how to pull everything out of it. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, most users will only pull out maybe 10 to 15% of what the synthesizers can do. So if we can get that up to 25, 35%, you're going to be blown away. So yeah, I think right now we just focus on making sounds, because if you have over 8,000 sounds in a Phantom and each tone is made up of waveforms, so it's like there's even more waveforms in there, because with every Zen core, with every expansion that you download, there's a waveform. So that's just a oscillator, a part of the tone, everybody. So there's literally tens of thousands of oscillator waveforms.
I think that's cool too about the Phantom though. All of the onboard filters and all of the knobs, and how you can see it on the screen, like it translates well. I think it's a good, like, well-rounded board for all of those things. And what's crazy is that none of my episodes do we really talk about gear, but it's you, and we have to talk about gear because it's so cool. Like, what's your favorite legendary rolling piece?
Oh, that's such a hard thing, because it also depends. What are you trying to do? Like for me, for pianos, RD pianos have always been like my favorite. You're
saying like,
yeah.
Somebody said, "Hey, do you own any rolling gear?" You say yes. What's the one piece you have to say?
Oh, well, this sounds so like whatever, Ed. I got to have a Phantom of some kind. I just got to have a Phantom. One, because I love to layer and split sounds, and all the Phantoms can layer internally 16 sounds. They've been doing that for over 20, 25 years, back to the XP series. So I got to have that. But then all the Phantoms have, and even the FA, have a sequencer. I got to have a sequencer so I can be here making tracks. So if you tell me, you can only pick one keyboard, I'm like, well, shoot, I got all these sounds, and I got a lot of good sounds in here, and I can make sounds and layer sounds, and then I can record, and then the Phantoms, this one has a vocoder, and then I can also go in here and just do so much, because like if I want an organ, I'll grab a VK or a VR730. If I want just a piano, I'll grab an RD2000 or an RD of some sort. So there's those specific keyboards, but for me in my rig, like I said, I don't play out as much anymore, but it's always a Phantom, always a V-Synth, which that might get replaced with Jupiter X, and then some type of organ. So people were getting mad at me one day because I'm like, I said I like a separate organ, and they're like, well, the Phantom doesn't have a good organ. Like, it has good organs. Just personally, I always like to have a dedicated organ, and I think a lot of cats that go out, because my Phantom is it's like I look at it as a car. As like my Phantom is like my big Suburban. It does a lot of stuff. My V-Synth is my race car. It just it does what it does, and it's awesome. And then I got to have an organ in the middle. That's all. I don't even care about.
I still got my I still use my VR700.
VR, yeah.
Combo.
Yeah, that one's a beast, and like on the organs and the VRs, I love a lot of key click on and off. I love a lot of noise, and I just set that one organ. Because a real organ If it has key click and if it has noise, that's just how it is. It's like an old car. So
Yeah.
I run everything from that first model because that's how it would be in the regular. And I'm just trying. I just want that. I love that click. I love that noise. All those imperfections. I just love them. So yeah.
Yeah, my V combo like literally gets shipped to every John Legend show. Like every single one of them, it gets shipped just because I know I cannot get it anywhere. Like just and the like the VKs, like nothing feels like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, that was like literally like a rare breed. I don't know how many of them they made, and I don't think it was many.
Yeah. I remember with you when it was, because every keyboard has its market life. You know, there's just time on the market. And I remember when it was time for the VR to be put to sleep, the VR 700 put to bed, is that you're like, Ed, how many do y'all got? I need to grab some extras. You know, so like, yeah, I need them. So
I still only have one.
That is crazy. That's crazy. I thought there was a white one for a while somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was used for Mariah Carey or something, or The Voice. It was for something.
Yeah.
And it was for something. I want to say Eric Daniels. I'm going to blame Eric Daniels for
Blame Eric Daniels.
Eric, you might have it, man.
He might, yeah, because there was a white one that I saw in the office in my ear.
I don't know. I might have to circle back around on that. But I do got the GP609 grand piano now.
Oh, yeah, that's going to look beautiful in your home. That is incredible.
Oh, it's already here. Here. I've been playing it almost every morning. So,
and isn't that the greatest thing? Like with the pianos, for example, and Phantoms and everything else are wonderful. But when you get a real nice piano, it's in a good spot in your house. You just can't walk past. It's just like, hey, come here.
Oh, it sounds really good. Like it's like it really sounds good and it feels great. Like I can't even lie. Like it's really good. Like
yeah, absolutely.
So this is the thing. I know you've been doing a lot of Phantom, a lot of videos and a lot of synth videos.
Oh yeah.
But what's been that thing that the highlight of like that blows everybody's mind?
Oh man. Well, it depends. It's been the layering and splitting. I guess one of the things is that with the Phantom USB audio and MIDI, I can go into Logic and I can just record the Phantom directly into Logic as audio tracks. You know, so they don't even have to deal with MIDI. Although you can record MIDI simultaneously. Also, the fact that you can have there's 32 outs, which is 16 stereo. So each tone, each zone. So like. There
we go. I was about to say, come on, Ed, show us what you're talking about.
Put me to work. So like each zone of the Phantom can go into let me open up Logic. I'll open it up for everybody here so y'all can kind of see this. So check this out. I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Let me see. Do I have the Phantom? Yeah, Phantom's hooked up. All right. So check it out. I got my Phantom right here, and I can go ahead and have up to 32 ins on the Phantom. This is something that a lot of cats don't even realize. So I can have the 32 ins on the Phantom, and then on the output on the Phantom, you can have the 6 outs. So this can be the main outs and the sub outs here too. So 1 and 2 is the main, 3 and 4 is sub out 1, 5 and 6 is sub out 2. So that's all with Phantom. We still there, man?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
I'm still here. I'm loving it.
All right, no, that's cool. So that's first thing. So right away, and let me go ahead and get the Phantom. I'll go ahead and throw up, like if I got the Phantom here, and first thing, you got to go into menu, and you just go into system here, and all you do is you put the Phantom in vendor. After you download the drivers, you're all set to go. Put it in vendor mode so it sends out MIDI and audio over USB. And then you also go to USB and you set this. Right here it says USB audio mix parallel. Well, if it's on mix, and I just press enter, if it's on mix, it's going to send everything that's going out of the Phantom onto tracks 1 and 2, so the stereo 1. But if I want to have everything in its own separate one, I just hit parallel. So watch this. So system write it, cool. Let me open up Logic. I'm gonna show y'all. Man, I'm glad. Look at that. I always got everything just kind of set, ready to go, because you never never knows. So
you're always prepared, Ed. You're always prepared.
all right, cool. I'm trying, man. All right, cool. So check this out. So very quick, there's my Logic, and this Phantom also can do this with any DAW. Everybody, this is something's cool. So I'm open up empty project. I just say input device Phantom. I just go choose, and it's going to open it up, and it's going to say, all right, what do you want to do? So, well, I want to do audio, and look at these are all Phantom ins right here.
Come on, people. You see this?
That's all Phantom. So I'm going to say, you know what? Let's do that. I'll start there. And it says, well, how many tracks you want to do? Well, shoot, I might as well do 16 because that's all Phantom. And so now I'll just go ahead and just pick a song, you know, and check this out. So let me just check my levels. All right, cool. So check this out on the Phantom. Let's see here. So on the Phantom, when you're trying to record, this is USB. Make it so you can see better. Hold on one second, my friend. All right. So this right here, when it's in this mode, this is how hot. This is the gain for the Phantom. This is the gain. Now, when we go ahead and shift and we turn it green, this is the return from the USB. So when we're monitoring back. All right. So I'm going to turn this down for a second. I'm going to put this red, and I'm going to throw up right here, and I'm going to bring in here so you can see. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it. All right, cool. So check this out. I'm gonna press play on the Phantom and watch. I'm gonna bring this up. You're gonna see the Phantom come in. See, there it is. It's coming in right there. And so I can adjust how hot it is. So of course, if it's too hot, it's gonna distort. So I'll just bring it down, make sure everything looks pretty good. All right, cool. So all I gotta do now, let me just shut this guy off. All right, we are set. Let me take out here. Just go ahead and start recording in Logic as you do and press play. And we're actually recording everything from the Phantom. All the different tracks that are playing. So
remember back in the day, you would have to like sequence in the keyboard and like play each part out?
Yeah. So I'm not even using MIDI. So if I wanted to, I could record all the MIDI and have it go to different channels. But this way, when I've had to do recording, I'm like, okay, what do you want? Send me the stem. Boom, here's my stem, and just like see ya, and it's just clean. And then if
I think that's what makes this keyboard so crazy, because it's not just a stage piece. This was like the perfect balance between a production piece and a stage piece, like literally.
Absolutely. And yeah, and this is something I think you and I, like, how many times back in the days with like the XP50s, XP80s, you come up with the killer sequence, but like, you know, if I wanted to share it or record it, I would have to go ahead and record each track one by one audio into the DAW at the time, whatever it was, you know, and it's just like
into the 1880 and try to line it up.
And it's just like, this is lame, you know? So back in those days, for all you don't know, a lot of us had like stacks and stacks of floppy disk with all these tunes, and there's many of them will never see the light of day because it's just like, ugh. But now with something like this, Man could sequence his drums, do his stuff, do some pre-production, and then he could throw them all in here, and then he could send it to the crew, and then like, okay, drum guy, see what I'm going for? Okay, add your tracks and give it that feel. And
this is like one of those, like, it kind of makes you feel like old school, where like you can make the beat in the keyboard, like, you know what I'm saying? You can use the sequencer in the keyboard, like it's pretty cool.
Well, absolutely. And then if we wanted to, as you know, we could go ahead and record the sequence of the drums, like you're saying, and then we can have it explode, you know, so it's just the MIDI. So you could record the audio portion and the MIDI portion together, and then
take the MIDI and toss it on another track with another
sir. Yes, sir. And then take it apart, put it in whatever kind of piano roll. Like, no, I want this over here. You can go to sound. So I know when I first saw this, and then I actually did it. It was just, you know, I called up some of the other guys at Roland, and because when it was on the down low, and I'm just like, dude, did you see that? What? So, and then we're like,
who really knew?
Yeah. And then we did it with Ableton, because I use Logic, between Logic and Ableton, and it's like it does the same thing, and so other guys are doing it with other software, so it's cool. I love it. I love that part.
And then the stereo XLRs too on the input.
Oh yeah, the stereo. Yeah. So that's something that, like, if I go gig, sometimes I'll just give those main outputs to the front of house guy so he can play to his snake. And, here you go, here's your line. And then I'll go the other main outs, the regular 1/4 inch, going into my mixer so I can have my own mix.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about the XLR ins, though.
The
stereo XLR in, that was a winner, too. I don't know. I think I'm just really happy with that keyboard. And I like the Jupiter X, too. I really like that one.
Well, what we just showed you, the Phantom could do with the tracks, the Jupiter X also does that. So the Jupiter X, if you come up, and for all my nerds out there, I'm a nerd for y'all, and it's okay because Man's a nerd too, and I say that with love. So if I wanted to, for all of you guys, and I'm gonna do a video on this, you can make, and Man already knows, say you have your regular interface and a Phantom and whatever else, you could create what we call an aggregate device. And what that does, you can go ahead and make a custom device. So that way it's just one giant device. So like Man and some of the other cats do, they're not even concerned. All the thing you got to keep track of is like what's on what channel, what's on what channel. So like you see here, I have one that's with the Rubik's and the Phantom. I got another here with the Rubik's and my VR stuff, and yeah. So I love that part that you can go ahead and mix all of these. So it's like if you have Natalie come in and run some vocals and you're using whatever audio interface for her, and then you got your keys, and then shoot, if you brought in your drummer and he's using our drum sets, our V drums. The V drums also have audio over USB. You can have all of those. So all with USB cables, and it's sick. And in all of those things, the Roland stuff, you could be recording audio and the MIDI simultaneously. So it's an exciting time. And I'm just trying to show the cats. I'm like, dude, you think you know, but you don't know. So listen up. I'm gonna show you the way. Yeah.
Just so y'all know, Ed about to help me redo. Well, not redo. I'm building a new studio right now, and I got V drums coming, and I got all the coolness. So.
Man, I wish the stupid virus wasn't there, because I was telling Suzanne, my wife, I'm like, I want to go to Man's for a week and help him. I want to help him.
Yes, I need help.
That's what I want.
This ain't the real. This ain't it.
No, so that way I can show Man how to cook. Oh, wait.
Oh, don't do that, Ed. Don't do that. Ed moved to Texas on me, and now you think he the barbecue champ and all of that. That's cool. Part of Texas. I got you.
We need to do like we did back in the old day. Man and I did this thing called Synth Kitchen, where we're just making.
Oh, man, we got to do a virtual one or something. We got to figure this out.
That'd be fun. But we would like make sounds from synths and just kind of ask keyboard guys, But
y'all should look that up. It's on YouTube. The synth, that's still on YouTube, right?
Yeah, Synth Kitchen. It's there.
Yeah, look up the Synth Kitchen. We did it live in LA from the Roland headquarters, and it was really cool. And Ed, talk about all the videos you've been doing. Like, so Ed is like, again, this is my sensei. So like, you gotta understand, this guy's top notch. So Ed, I'm gonna say a little bit, and then Ed gonna say the rest. Ed does these amazing videos and these lives, and he like gives you the cheat codes, and he teaches you from like the lower level all the way up to like he just showed you like something super top notch. So it's like, I don't know, Ed, take over. Tell me.
All right, cool. So for all of you out there, like Man saying, we'll start from like the entry level up into like super advanced. And I know sometimes I get in trouble because some of the advanced guys are like, Ed, hurry up and cover the basic stuff because we want to know this advanced stuff. And I'm always like, you got to wait. We all got to grow together. Just hold your horses. So I put a lot of these videos for Roland's because I work for Roland. I put them on YouTube. They're all for free. You can go to Roland Product Support on YouTube, and there's a ton of videos. If you just hit videos, just look at this. All these videos. We got Boss stuff, Jupiter stuff. We got some of my other bros in Roland, Scott Berry, Austin.
Shout out Scott. Shout out to Austin. Hey.
Austin, aka Captain Caveman, and we got but if you're like Ed, there's too many videos, Ed, check this out. you go to playlist right here, and you just pick what you're talking about. So like so far right now, I got the Phantom playlist, and there's 33 videos right now. But man, I'm probably gonna hit, before this is all said and done, I'm trying to do a video a day. So I got a new one to do tomorrow, and every day I'm gonna try and do one and put one up every day. So I'm gonna try and hit 100 videos.
And I'm gonna catch up on all my Phantom tutorials thanks to you, because I've been in. You know how it is when you're in creative mode. Like I talked about earlier, I hit a cool smooth sailing patch where I was able to start going through the keyboard and getting through sounds, and now I got my new laptop. I'm ready to go. I got 32 gigs of RAM. I'm ready to get it cracking. So I'm ready. I got 32 gigs of RAM. I got 2 terabyte. I'm ready to go, Ed. I'm ready to go.
It's
now I can get everything running, and like I said, I'm gonna be stealing all your tricks out of these videos and FaceTime you. I'll be FaceTiming Ed out of nowhere. Hey,
I love it. I love only thing I don't like is when there's issues, and like, Ed, I need you now. I'm like, where are you? I'm in Dubai, Ed. I'm like, well, crap, hurry up, Ed. We got 15 minutes. It's like,
I know. I try not to call you unless I really.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bother, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap. Oh, I hope I can.
But honestly though, I usually call you with stuff that's like, okay, that was a difficult one.
No. It's, and a lot of times, like if anybody that talks to me and stuff, and like, well, we're figuring out stuff, I'm the first guy, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to sound stupid. I'm the first guy to throw out, well, what if, can it do this? And so my attitude is like, ask those questions that you think are kind of goofy, because sometimes out of those goofy questions, something else comes out like, oh, that's genius.
Right.
And a lot of that, oh crap, that means if it does this, then it should do this.
Right.
So yeah, I'm the first guy. I don't care. I'm just like, ask the question, we figure it out. Yeah. So I love.
A lot of guys come to me like, so where does this Phantom take off from the last one? How do I do everything from the old one?
Yeah.
Because that's typically like the first starting point for, especially like a lot of like church and like people that aren't really, not even just church, but just like musicians that are like, may not have time to really learn the gear, and it's just like, okay, yeah, the X is phasing out. I need to start using the G. All right, now the G's phased out. Now, how do I take over with this new Phantom from the G? And I think it's pretty cool though that it's like algorithm, and once you learn the rolling algorithm of how everything kind of works, it kind of starts making sense, and it's like it's not too far off. And this keyboard wasn't like so like, oh my God, how do you work this? It was just like, oh, okay, so you could get to this by doing this, like on the old one, but then you do this. So I think that was like how people come to me, like, and then, the next type of thing. And then if I can't figure out, or if it's something I haven't tried, I go to you.
Love it. So I always tell people, because they say, well, who teaches me? And I learn from you guys. I learned when I go on the road and talk to regular people. I learned when I talk to my other rolling guys, and what we do, and we don't get a chance to do it much in person, just in general. So we'll throw up like a virtual whiteboard, and I'm like, what does this do? What does that do? So, and then at the house, I always do couch time, keyboard time. What that means is I get with the manual and I slowly go through it. I'm like, well, what does this mean? All right, cool. And I just read a little bit at a time. Then I go to the keyboard. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I would get into another part of the manual that the doors close. And then after reading that, my brain kind of digested. It's like,
yeah.
This was it. And then I go to the keyboard, and then all of a sudden, boop, 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 all these doors open up, and then I'm like, oh crap. And I'm like, okay. And then it starts getting exciting. So, and like Man's saying, it's like, once you understand the rolling vernacular, the terms and stuff, you're like, all right, it's okay. And I always tell cats, just take your time. No one's going to die. All right. Just take your time.
Try some things. Just don't hit save.
Yeah. Just don't hit save. It's all good. And all you guys, if you do hit save and screw it up, you can always do factory reset. Whoop, bring it right back. So I'm just like, just have at it, because I'm always learning stuff. Because like my guy Scott Barry, my guy Mark Watson in Australia, my guy David Allen, in the UK, all of us are keyboard guys, and a lot of the other keyboard guys who I haven't even mentioned. What I love about Roland and my other synth brothers and the Roland and synth sisters is that like every country, every individual has a different take on how they use this board. So I'll tell you guys real quick. So years and years ago, we were in Japan, and it was just a room. There was about 20 of the different keyboard guys from Roland, and they said, the Japanese engineer said, you have 1 hour to come up with a demo song. So we had never seen the FA at this time. We had never seen it, And so within that hour, each person from the different country came up with a demo song, and it was a trip. When everybody was playing back their songs, depending on the country you were in, that keyboard kind of morphed into that vibe, So it was really amazing. And I noticed everybody had just a kind of a different take how they run things. Nothing was right or wrong. It was just different. And the instrument was able to move in that way. So so basically, long story short, is just keep learning. Just keep learning, because when some people say, hey, this isn't intuitive, this isn't enough. And I'm like, no. There comes a point where you can play the sounds on top, but then there comes a point like when you get into the man level of the game where it's like, oh, no. We got to get into the big boy stuff. And that big boy stuff isn't necessarily intuitive. It is intuitive, but you're not there yet, but once you get into that big boy stuff, it's like, oh yeah, like Man was saying, for him, and I know for me, and I don't talk about it much, is the 2 MIDI outs, the 2 MIDI outs. And I look at that, and I look at, back when I first saw, I think it was 4 MIDI outs. It was the A90EX, and then our daddy, George Duke, he was using 2 A90EXs with racks of keyboard modules, and it was just like, racks of keyboard modules, and it was just like, but he's only had 2 keyboards, and it's just like, what's going on? You hear all these sounds, and you're just like, and then he would do one button on the keyboard, and then you'd see all the racks flash and change to different, just like, what is it doing? And that's what I'm talking about. That's big boy stuff. It's like, but the cool thing is the Phantom does it, the FA does it, the Jupiter X, a lot of these keyboards, the RD2000, they got big boy level. And when you start digging, you start learning, then you start doing stuff that like in your town, we all love each other, but we got a gig, and so there's a little competition. And so there might be a guy that's probably a better player than you, but I got you on tech. Yeah, you probably can play that piano better, but my piano has strings and voices that come out when I do the velocities.
I don't have polyphony restrictions.
Yeah, and because I got main stage, and I got the Phantom. When I change the scene, it changes the main stage patch for me. Or Pastor's Wife is playing on an old.
Man, you saw Sean Alexander's new video?
I just saw it. Sean has been busy. He's been busy, but I know he's been doing a lot of great stuff.
Did you see? He just did the video where he did all the patch changes. He had all the patch changes in his Ableton session, and he was playing 3 keyboards, and the keyboards were switching per section of the song. So he was like, and it's like, of course, it's stuff that we know, but to people, it's just like, that's amazing. It's like, y'all gotta understand program changes, like MIDI, like knowing like what MIDI does and knowing how powerful MIDI is, because USB is just like the love child of MIDI and now audio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was USB to MIDI. Now it's just USB to USB now, like, and because that used to be the thing. I remember I used to have tons of those just in my closet at home, USB to MIDI, because I just needed to always MIDI, like having these little dongles all over the place. Now you can just go USB to USB. Save your life, people. Save your life and get all the cool things out of it.
And that's what I talk about. You get to the Sean Alexander, the Man's, Monty Newble. You get to these guys.
Yo, Monty, I can't wait to see what Monty really does with this Phantom.
Dude, I talked to Monty quite a bit also. Let's shout out to Monty. What an awesome dude. He is so.
Monty Newble is literally like, if you say aux players, like he has to be in like the Guinness World Record of best aux players ever, like, literally.
But he's such a nice cat. He'll just call.
Quiet.
He's a nice cat. He'll just call up and say, Ed, what's up? And I'm like, you good? He goes, I just checking in. All right, cool. It's just cool. We just talk. We just talk. Which I love that. Like, if any of you cats, if I live between San Antonio and Austin, and before this pandemic happened, I always tell Man, but and other cats, if you come down, just give me a holler. We'll go to lunch before sound check or something. You know what I mean?
Man, we always hang out, especially if we anywhere close. We did. What was our last hang? Well, not last hang, but one of our cooler hangs.
The Nickel Diner in L.A.
Oh Lord, that one.
We won't talk about that one.
Talk about that one. But then we hung. You came to the rodeo when we did the Houston rodeo.
Oh yeah. Houston rodeo, that was awesome hanging, and we got to go on all the rides with your daughter, and
that was a good time. We had turkey legs.
Oh, you got to have turkey legs, and then another time. One of the times I know that I took you and the band out for Mexican food in L.A. That was just a good hang. It's just nice, because people forget, like, when you guys are on the road. You're on the road, and you go to nice places and eat, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of nice to just get out of there for a minute.
Yeah, more like a touch of home, more a touch of reality, like, and that's what I tell a lot of people, and which is a cool segue to this point. I tell a lot of people, like, throughout this pandemic or this unfortunate scenario we're in, this is the time where you reach out and you build relationships and you rebuild relationships and you communicate and you just don't be a bad person. Be a good person, be a nice person, talk to people, and you'll be able to realize that you can do a lot of cooler things. Like, I've done so many collaborations and worked on so many cool projects just off the strength of, like, communicating. This industry is like out of sight, out of mind, where it's just like, hey, what's up? Just checking in on you. Oh, what's crazy? You busy? Oh, great. I need you to do this project. I thought you were busy. A lot of people hit you with I thought you were busy. Like, I'm sure you know that. Like, some people be like, oh, Ed, I was gonna call you for this gig, but I thought you was busy. And it's like, bro, you could have checked with me, but it's like, you got to do your due diligence and make sure you, like, hold your end of the bargain when it comes to communication and relationship.
Yeah, it's just cool because I know I follow a lot of people on Facebook, and I see you and your lovely fiance Natalie and stuff, and then Tracy On's doing some killer stuff, and then Monty just had a birthday, and then I see Palmer O'Neill is just killing it with the barbecue game.
See, that might have to be the cook-off.
I'm coming for you, Palmer. I'm coming for you.
Dr. O's Cafe. He needs something. He needs to go restaurant. O'Neill is crazy, yo. I love him.
Oh, so one thing I would love to know, I've told a couple of the cats, like Delvin, and I've told Monty, and I think it's like a lot of times, a lot of you guys come to NAMM, and so it's just like a big, for me, NAMM is like a big bro fest. I see all my synth bros, and it's like hugs and kisses and stuff, and so it's great. But I always say, like, I would love to do after NAMM, we get together at somebody's backyard barbecue, like in Burbank or someplace near, the rehearsal place, and just cook out. We just all just hang.
You know what? Mark my words. I'm going to host something.
Yeah. We should.
That happens. Next NAMM that happens, we're going to do it.
And it does, of course we'll have music, but it doesn't have to, I would say, like, we could have some synths there. That's all good. But to me, it's almost
half of us want to just hang.
Cool. It could just be about the brotherhood. So it's just kind of nice to just check on everybody. Like Man saying, especially now, just reach out and just see, like, hey, how you doing? And then also, most of us now, right, Man, all of us are like, what kind of camera are you using? Oh, what mic you using?
That's what happened in the very beginning of this. I'm like, Ed, what am I doing? I got to hook the switcher up. What am I doing? I'm like,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and
I almost got it together. I almost got it together. Once I redo the whole studio, I'm gonna have like a live performance area with, like, drums and camera.
You're gonna kill it even more, and you're gonna cause me to redo my room. So I'm like, man,
nope, because Suzanne gonna be mad at me. I ain't dealing with that. Nope.
No,
You might get a pass though, because that's my buddy.
oh, Suzanne's your homegirl. You know, so
That's my homegirl. Like, I
yeah.
love her. Tell her I say hi,
Oh,
Suzanne, because hopefully you gonna watch this.
oh yeah, she knows. Shot. No, no, it's good times, but yeah, there's so much. But hey, for those of you that are wondering, I'm using a Canon EOS R and with a 16 to 35 f4 because I got all these lights, and then I got a light behind me. See, to give that little extra, you know. So
yeah, I always gotta outdo me. I ain't got nothing crazy. I don't even know what camera this is. I'll let y'all know. Wow, but Ed is top notch. He do videos. I talk to people. He does videos. But what I will say is, people, I'm gonna be on Ed's show. We're gonna do some synth talk, and I don't know. Maybe we should do something legendary. Maybe I'll do like an XP80 or something cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, to do like a throwback.
Or you know what we could do? Let's do a Phantom lineage video. Where we do the X, the G, and the new Phantom. Maybe we do that.
Well, you know, there's a couple of other Phantoms in there. Of course, you know the FA-76 was the first.
Listen. Only 3 matter to me.
Only 3.
I love them all.
And
that's kind of like when you talk about the XP. Like you talk about the 50, the 60, and 80. Okay, 10 and 30.
Yeah, the 10 and 30. I had
50,
that
60, 80.
That 50, I got that 50, and then what is it? 6 months later, the 80 came out. I was so mad. I was just like.
Then the 60 came out.
Then the 60, because that 50 was no joke with the OS. It was difficult, but the thing is, if you could cut your teeth on that XP50 and understand that, that helped me so much.
I learned. I used to borrow my OG. Shout out to Kevin Furlow from Philly. I used to borrow his XP50. And I just was like, that was one of the first keyboards I started like learning on and learning how to work. And then my high school had an XP80 and an RD250, I think.
Oh, it's a rig.
Yeah, and a Kurzweil PC88. That's when the PC88 was big. That was like the realest piano sounding, feeling thing at the time.
At that time, yeah, sure was.
So the school used to let me borrow the XP80, and I was like, yo, I gotta get one of these. And then I ended up just like saving my money and buying one. And that was the first keyboard I owned on my own, the XP80. And that will always be my favorite keyboard. And I still record with one to this day. Like literally, I got one like literally right here. Like you can't. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Like that's my XP80 right here. Oh, you can see the letters up in the corner.
My XP is hanging on the wall. It needs a new battery, but it did like 10 years of
I just got all my batteries changed too.
Mine needs a new battery, but I'm like, nah, she's retired. She's good.
You ain't retired either. You see that X7 over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, X7 ain't over there. Then I got my 106, my 106, my 60. And then over here, I got my Phantom 7 and my V7. These are like my workhorses. This is what I'm working with right now. But yeah, once I get the room set up, then I'm gonna put my Phantom 8 up because I need some.
I can't wait. Like I said, I was telling Suzanne, I wish this wasn't happening because I'd take a week off from work and be like, I'm going to NAMM. I'm going to NAMM. We're gonna get.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll buy you some time. Maybe we'll get you a week off.
Oh yeah, no, it's all no, dude. If I was going over there, they'd be like, well, because as you know. I don't need to go into office. As long as I have my laptop, boop, and take a camera, and I got my.
As you can see, I got good internet.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing, people. Is the internet is not only about the download; it's about the upload. It's about the upload when you're doing this kind of stuff. So, FYI, that's what you need. So it's all smooth.
Well, people, me and Ed can talk for a long, long time, and this is gonna turn into a part 2 or 3. So what we need to do is we gotta bring Scott on with you.
Yeah.
We gotta bring all the synth guys on. We need to have a synth debate. Everybody, we should have like back in the day they used to have like the debate team. We should have a debate. We should all like randomly pick a keyboard or something, and we all have to have a debating factor about it. See who wins the debate. Like
I don't I don't know. I don't know if it's about the debate because we're all synth heads. We all love keyboards. So it's kind of like, because we had on Synth Talk and you guys check out Synth Talk every Friday on the Roland channels on Facebook and on Roland Media on YouTube. But we had on Stephen Fortner from the old editor from Keyboard Magazine. And we had like a 2-hour conversation, and we were just talking about all kinds of vintage synths. And even though the show is very Roland-centric, obviously, but there's certain history that we were just talking synths. It was just fun.
Oh no, absolutely. But there's there are some debating factors about some things that are just like you can't talk.
Oh. Well, here's one. I'm gonna throw the first stone. I know a lot of the gospel musicians are like, "Oh, that MKS 80, that's the best piano of all time," And so, I'm like, and the V piano ain't nothing. But so here's the thing: all you cats out there, all my gospel cats that love the MKS 80, which I love it too, because back in 86, 87, that was the best piano. But here's something a lot of cats don't know. Inside the RD2000 that has the V piano, it has all of the MKS 80 pianos in there exactly as they were.
What's crazy is a lot of people be like, "Oh no, it's not exactly the same." I'm like, "Man, you tripping."
Yeah, dude.
This is my whole thing. There's no way in the world with the legacy Roland has.
MKS 20, I'm sorry. I got it. That MKS 80 is the Jupiter.
Oh, the MKS 20, the MK20. Yeah, so the thing about it is a lot of people don't understand. Like, if Roland releases something, it's been tested and compared and tested and compared again, then sent to Ed, and then sent to Scott, and then sent to me, and then compared and tested again. So it happens. Yo, I will never forget. This was probably about 3 years ago, man, when they were like, when we were talking about the Phantom.
Yeah.
It was like literally like with the component. This is when this before the AX Edge came out, and like that Phantom was in the works. And it's like a lot of the things that I knew was gonna happen. I just couldn't wait. I just could not wait. And the time is here. So, all right, people, we're getting ready to go, and I want to be on Ed's show, and Ed's gonna come back on here with the rest of the Synth Brothers, and we're gonna have a cool little discussion. Because I want to talk to you guys like about the Juno series, the 60, the 106, and then I also want to talk about the SH2. Yo, literally, I use the SH2 every 2 days while I'm recording. Literally.
What you using it?
Oh, I'm using it in Logic, like off the cloud.
Oh no! Oh, but what are you using it for? Like for bass or for leads? What you got?
A little bit of everything. That literally the first synth bass patch that comes on as soon as you open the plugin is literally like the holy grail of gritty synth. Like literally, especially like holding stuff out. It's the craziest thing.
How cool is that? It's like, because everybody's like, "Oh, presets suck," and it's like, bro, a lot of like man saying. People work hard, and not.
Shout out to Scott Tibbs. Like
Scott Tibbs. Scott Tibbs is. People throw around the term like genius a lot, and to a lot of people, I'm just like, But Scott's super chill. Man, he's a genius.
He's one of my favorite people to see in life. Like whenever you see him, it's just like, come on, give me a hug, Scott.
Dude, you guys don't know, he is like he's a nut in like in an awesome way. He's a nut. He's funny. He's serious, what he's doing. Yeah. But then when he's playing, he does stuff. He's one of those cats where you're just like,
he's like those demos that he does on the keyboard. It's just like, bruh, did you really do this demo like that fast too? And it don't take him long.
But I know in the office, when I was in the office for a little while, like Scott has his own little lab area, right? And you can hear him working, and he's figuring out stuff, and you hear like, it might be blip, blap, but it's like, he's programmed. He's getting that jazz right. And here's something about Scott that I think is funny. So Scott we were talking about synthesizers one day and the basics of synthesis one day. And I'm just like, how do you never get that chance to talk about Scott about synthesis and basics. He's a doctor of music. He's a professor. He's a smart cat. And I asked him, and we were just having just BSing, and it's like, hey Scott, so where did the super saw come from? How come it's seven saws? And Scott's he's a nut. He's from Vegas, and he's like, I think that was in the JP 8000. The super saw was the first time it was born. And so in the end, the story goes, as Scott told it, the engineers were trying to determine how many saws make up a super saw. And Scott's from Las Vegas originally. And so Scott, in Scott way, he was like 777, baby. That's a winner. Make it 7. And so that's why a super saw has 7 saws.
See that, people? You learn something new every day.
777.
777 93.
Oh man, yeah, so yeah. He's amazing. He's amazing.
Man, speaking of Synth, I can't wait for you to hear it. We did this live. We did a live album with Chromeo.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded it in Minneapolis. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I mean,
you guys were also on YouTube. What is that show?
Tiny Desk.
Tiny Desk, yeah.
We was on Tiny Desk. We played a couple shows. We did like Hollywood Bowl, and we did a couple cool like Red Rocks. We did some cool shows, and it's really fun because they recorded a lot of that stuff on like Moogs and Juno 106s actually, and I think they had a Juno 660. Yo, they have the craziest synth. I gotta send you a link. They got the craziest synth studio in Burbank.
Yeah. It's like everything.
Everything. Oberheim's like everything works. Everything's patched in. Everything's on. And it's like it's the craziest thing. And with that gig, I used the Jupiter 80, believe it or not, a XP60 with my synth card in it.
Yeah.
And I had my Juno 60. And remember, I got my Juno 60 modded out, so I have MIDI.
That's awesome.
For the minnow on it now.
That's awesome stuff, man. Getting modded.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't a cheap modification, but I just felt like I had to do it.
Oh, here's another mod for you, everybody out there. Now the Phantom, you can run out of the same MIDI channel. You can run. Let me see if I can show you real fast. Yeah, I can show you here. So when it's red, that means it's internal engine.
Yeah.
When it's green, that's external. And now when it's yellow, it's sending out internal and external to the same channel. So instead of having 16 layers and splits, technically you could have 32, internal and external. And the externals can come from USB, so like main stage or whatever, and or the different MIDI outs 1 and 2. So you can do just a bunch of crazy.
Yeah, and that makes it great when you it just gives you so much more control.
Yeah.
So much more control. But yeah, well, people, I really mean it this time. This is probably going to be the longest episode we've ever had.
I just love talking to Man.
I know, this is my brother. People, we're gonna pick this back up. I'm gonna cut this. We love you all. Tune into Ed's Synth Kitchen, and we're gonna talk about some cool things. No. Synth Talk, but Synth Kitchen, because we got to do a Synth Kitchen episode. That's why we got it.
Okay, cool.
We gotta do another. People, Synth Talk, Synth Kitchen. All of them's on YouTube. Check the Roland channel. Learn about these pieces of gear, because when this whole pandemic is over and all that, I want to see people gigging with some real gear. I get it. We got USB. Let's play some keyboards too now. Let's play some keyboards.
Yeah.
But we out. Say bye to the people, Ed. Say bye to the people.
Bye, people. Love you. Everybody stay safe. Wear a mask. Make sure you vote. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Vote. Shout out to my homeboy, Mr. Ed Diaz. One more time. Told you that guy's a genius. Like he had his camera setups and his whole overheads and boop 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 boop. I'm trying to tell you, like I said, that guy's a genius. So usually I get a chance to hang out with Ed and Igor and Kristen and a lot of the people at Roland, like my family at NAMM. And in honor of that, we're gonna do a little flashback Fridays to NAMM 2020. Hope you enjoy this. What's up, everybody? Eugene Man Roberts here, aka the Mayor of Roland, coming to you live at NAMM 2020. What's up, brother? How are you?
How are you?
You know what? Introduce yourself to the world and tell them what you do.
My name is Mike Sleath. I play drums for Shawn Mendes.
How's that gig?
It's sick. Yeah, it's been really good. We just finished our third world tour.
Wow.
Yeah, so we finished just before Christmas, Mexico City.
Wow. How's NAMM going for you?
NAMM's amazing.
Really?
This is probably the highlight.
Yeah.
I love what you guys have done with the place.
Thank you, man.
It's very nice being on the set of Beside One Fern.
Right.
And Sinbad.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
That
man.
guy is a legend.
I love Sinbad, man. We've been friends for a long time,
Wow.
man. Yeah.
What a legend.
And he comes to my house and hangs out. He's
No
like,
way.
Like to play with all my gear.
Wow.
But yeah, man. So let's just jump into it, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's your love for rolling in the gear?
It's like Roland has just changed the game.
Yeah.
For me, as far as just
Yeah.
live drums and what I'm able to do with the electronics. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm able to recreate these crazy electronic sounds, layer them over top of my acoustic kit. Yeah, so it's really a game changer.
Yeah, especially with the evolution of it, huh?
Yeah.
Things are getting better.
Oh my God, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
And the triggers are so reliable. All the electronics are really reliable. It's amazing.
Well, what are you working on now? What do you have coming up? Even if it's just for yourself, you know, we talk about a lot of the tours and stuff, but I like to talk about like some of the personal things, you know, people have going on.
Well, I'm doing a lot of clinics this year.
Yeah, that's dope.
I've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff. My main focus, though, since I'm off the road, I'm not really able to tour outside of Sean.
Yeah.
So. So my main focus is just trying to practice and get better. I want to take some lessons.
Yeah, I mean, of course, touring is just like you're playing the same show. You're too tired to go out and jam.
Yeah,
it's like,
you get really good at playing the show, but then some other things can really like.
And then you go to do some things you think you could do, and your muscle memory's like, no, practice that first.
Totally.
Yeah. Man, what would be a piece of advice you would give to an up and coming drummer that wants to hit those big stages?
Just keep at it. You gotta really have a thick skin because you get told you can't do it a lot and stuff like that. And I think perseverance is just the biggest one. Just always fighting back and always being there.
How does it feel to be a part of the Roland family?
It's unreal. Roland, my man Lyle, everybody has just been so welcoming, so helpful, and truly, like, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without Roland.
Yeah, you know, what was the first piece of Roland gear that like captivated you?
Probably the SPD.
The SPD, the original one, right?
The original one.
Yeah,
I had that original one, and then the minute the SPD SX came out, had to get it. Yeah, the things you can do on that machine, it's insane.
Yeah, especially as a drummer, like it gives you like unlimited like possibilities. Like
it's the perfect piece of gear.
Yeah,
I've never had anything go wrong with it, and it's like
you pack a backup and you don't even need the backup.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing.
Yeah,
we literally have a backup on tour, never been used.
Never. It's just loaded up, chilling in the case.
Yeah, it's all loaded up, ready to go. Never need it.
Yeah. And you're using triggers too, like
tons of triggers. We have triggers over every single drum.
Wow.
That's amazing. At any point, we just throw on a trigger and we have like some electronic sounds.
Of course, throughout the show, something's on, something's off.
Yeah.
I think Roland is good at just overall as far as just being able to allow you to open your mind to create more. And create unlimited like possibilities. I think. Yeah.
Well, I think there's two sides. You can either look at it as a crutch, and you can kind of take a bad drum and you can put a trigger on it and you can make it sound amazing. But if you have an amazing sounding drum and you layer something else on top of it, dude, you have the greatest sounding drums ever. We do something. We use our triggers to control our gates. So our front of house guy, he has a feed of we split my triggers by 3 ways. So they go into 2 TD50s. One is just a backup, just in case anything, but we've never had to use it. And then the third one goes to front of house and monitors. And so we use so the triggers are controlling all of the gates.
Wow.
So it's super clean.
I'm a gearhead, and I didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, it's amazing. So instead of having like a waveform, like cymbals and stuff like that
it can trigger anything off. Yeah.
This is just when the drum's being hit. So,
wow,
dude, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. Man, well, thank you for your time. Before you get out of here, my trusty question jar.
I like this. All right, would you like me to read this?
Yeah.
Your favorite show memory. Wow. Favorite show memory. Okay, so this is kind of a gross one, but I mean, we're rolling.
Whatever.
Here, we're amongst one family. When you're touring and stuff, you start eating a lot of questionable food.
Yep.
You know, maybe you're in a weird place.
Yep.
Maybe the catering's weird. So we have this thing where when one person gets diarrhea, the show is always amazing.
Yeah.
So my favorite show memory is every single time someone gets diarrhea. I said it.
Ew, man. All right. But
So
there's
on
that. But man, on behalf of Roland, man, thank you for being a part of the family, representing the family so well, man. And NAMM 2020, we want to thank you for the greatness, and we are out of here. Yep. So that was a cool little flashback to NAMM 2020. So let's kind of move a little forward and see what these people got going on at home. We're going to go into a little segment we call Rolling at Home. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those rolling at home videos. You yourself, yes, you could have your video and your content featured here if you just simply hashtag rolling at home with your content. And then we gonna find it and we gonna put it up here and then you're gonna be on the show with me. And then hopefully we can talk and just do this thing like one-on-one talk. So before we get out of here, I want to thank Rolling Live Studios. I want to thank Roland. I want to thank Kristen, Igor, Brian, Joel, Nelly, who am I missing? Who am I? Josie, I can keep going on and on and on. Shout out to Carrie Brown too, emoji. But before we get out of here, I'm your host, Eugene Man Roberts. This has been 808s While You Wait, Town Hall Meeting with the Mayor, and we are out of here. Till next week.